by tradition.
Hold
And that
tight.
is hold tight the 3-point collectors.
Next thing, Tottenham are whipping boys for Liverpool. You lot ain't beat us in how long? So look at your face. So when I
I'm about to run.
they forget about when the council is going to take the free.
Oh, for real? When there was a little car park out front. Let's talk about sex, baby.
Let's hold
Liverpool. And as much as we can talk about Mane is a good player, Salah's a good player, they're just not the X factor, bro. Don't forget about it. Welcome back to another episode of Stoppage Time TV. It's myself, Culture Cams, and I'm joined by who are you, mate?
Young FDD, Fuego Fu,
Whatever.
Guapo.
F Diddy hype. But anyway, no Maze today. He's in Ghana right now doing some good work out there. So he'll be back soon. But so today's basically, it's the Dos Locos. You know what I mean? Dos Locos back.
We live, baby.
Back!
We
Wednesday! No, Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. Dos Locos back Wednesday.
We back, baby.
So you know how it goes. But first and foremost, this show is sponsored by Manscaped. You know, it's by the time this drops, it'll be Valentine's Day. So if there's anyone that's watched, you would have missed the boat. But
bruv,
if you
didn't get nothing on Valentine's Day,
rectify
now
it.
you understand why. Rectify your mistakes, brother.
Rectify that.
Look in the mirror.
No more 4.0. I still use my 3.0, I think, and that is it's lit. So send over that 4.0. But we move. But yeah, as I said, STTV for 20% off. So go and run that, man. But it's been an eventful little week. Let's get into this stuff, man. I don't know where to start because bad result with you guys, bad result with Man United. Chelsea go out and win. Liverpool get a good result. City continue trucking. But
Liverpool even getting results as well.
Yeah. I mean, Bowen on form.
Yeah.
But let's start with actually, for people that you guys know, we're currently recording during the West Ham match due to time schedule. So we're not going to probably speak on the West Ham game. So anyone that's a West Ham fan, sorry. Anyway, let's start with Chelsea, actually. Let's start with Chelsea because they have not only the champions of Europe, they are now the champions of the world. World champions, and they have become the only team, which let me officially get that before I say it wrong. They have become the only team to, the European champions become the world champions as Chelsea become the 5th club to win every major trophy. The others, Juventus, Ajax, Manchester United, and Bayern Munich. That's 4 heritage football clubs that Chelsea have joined that club, that party.
Yeah.
What can we say about Chelsea now, man?
Bro, we said it after when they got the 2nd Champions League. They've now joined that elite prestige kind of European clubs, we would say. But I feel like, one, credit to Tuchel, because I think he's come in and from a cup perspective, he knows how to get the result on the day. And
the 3 trophies in 300 days or something like that.
Something like that, just over a year. It's crazy when you think of it. So he's done well in that aspect, 100%. But I also, Abramovich during his reign as well. I think Chelsea before that were known historically as a cup team or whatever. But what he's been able to do in this 20 years in regards to like every single trophy, their last league title was 2017. But since then, FA Cup, Europa League, there's been the Champions League, the Club World Cup now. Is every single trophy they're collecting somewhere. We say all the time, even when they're in a down year, they'll collect something. I'm leaving here with something. So that's
and if they don't, they've reached the final or something. Lampard got to the final.
They're always one of the almost like semi-finalist guaranteed teams, and it's a credit to them. As
Another
a
cup
club,
final this year as well.
Especially being one of the like first takeovers, global big takeovers that happen. People have questioned the chop and change method, you've let the players run the dressing room in the early years. But every single thing they've done, it's worked for them. So they've actually done it the right way. I think City's method as well is working and looking like it's going to follow suit at some point. But the way Chelsea have done it over what 20 years,
20 years,
nearly
man.
20 years.
It's nearly 20
It's not even
years.
actually 20 yet, is
Well,
it?
they
It's
took
like
over 2003, 2004. We're in
which would be next
2000,
season, basically.
yeah,
So
yeah.
what, 18, 19 years, how that's been done. I give credit to them. They're up there with the most Premier League wins. They're now up there with Champions League wins. As you said, now they've joined the top 5 teams that have won all the trophies, brother. As much as they're the ops, you got to give them their dues, bro.
Yeah.
They as a club, they've done this thing proper.
And for anyone that's thinking, wait, Real Madrid have won, Liverpool have won, it's the Cup Winners' Cup. It's something that Liverpool haven't won. It's something that Real Madrid haven't won. And the Europa League / UEFA Cup is something that Barcelona haven't won. So that's what every trophy available is. So obviously the Cup Winners' Cup is no longer there. So I
99,
don't think this can ever be
It can never be
broken anymore.
unless
But-
you've won it previously.
Yeah, exactly.
Spurs.
So it's hard unless Barcelona win the Europa League this year. So, but since the Cup Winners' Cup is gone, Liverpool and Real Madrid can't ever join that party, really, which is
Spurs,
just a bit of a weird one. But because you touched on Abramovich, I think it's something that we need to obviously big up Tuchel, as you said, big up Tuchel for what he's doing. But as you said, just to piggyback off what you said, like we're talking about every single trophy in a 20-year span, and you think about all the 20 years first and foremost is a long time. So when you talk about people say no history, no this, no that, 20 years is a long history. 20 years is longer than some people have been watching football.
Yeah.
Some of the people that are saying Chelsea have no history are not even 20. You're a teenager.
Bro.
So all you have seen in your whole life is Chelsea win trophies.
Yeah.
And you'll be opening your mouth to say Chelsea have no history. All this no history, you got to build history. History is also building new things. When we look back now, we're like, oh, that Jose Mourinho team, is that not history? When we say, wow, that Ancelotti team, is that not history?
Yeah.
When we say, wow, Jose's second return, is this not history?
Little
Or
horse.
what is this stuff? This is history that we're talking about. And Chelsea have solidified themselves as a big club. People can talk about, they weren't doing it in the 80s and the 70s or whatever, but Nottingham Forest were doing it them days.
Yeah.
Preston, Spurs, Everton. Are we going to now say, oh yeah, because of that, they're bigger than Chelsea? Let's get real. You know, a lot of people like to do the big club, small club kind of thing.
Yeah.
Chelsea are a massive football club. In today's day and age, they are a massive football club. And they'll probably be one of the most attractive football clubs if they're going for a player in world football. So people need to, you know what I mean?
They've got the history, they've got the destination, they've got the money, bro. It's like year after year as well, when you're fighting for silverware, it gives players a want to come. Do you know what I mean? And even Lukaku, you look at him, when he left, he had his choice of where he could go, let's be honest. But he chose to come back for a reason. And I don't think Chelsea are going to stop as well. This is the problem.
Yeah.
As long as Abramovich is there, he's shown that no matter what, I'll put my money where my mouth is. Even maybe 2-3 years ago when people thought, oh, he has visa issues. Nah, bro, he said, all right, here's 75 mil Kepa, here's Morata. Oh, that will go wrong.
Yeah.
Cool, I'm going to come again. Here's 50 mil on Kovacic. Even when we're at transfer ban, he's putting his money where his mouth is. So in regards to like building a club, they've done it. Honestly, one of the best ways I've seen it.
Ways. And you got to think about it. When you look back at it now, I'm trying to think. Scolari didn't win a trophy. Lamps didn't win a trophy. Villas-Boas didn't win a trophy. Di Matteo won the Champions League. So yeah, I think those are the only 3 that didn't leave
win
with any form of silverware.
Because Benitez even won something.
Benitez won the Europa League.
Avram Grant as well. No, he got to the Champions League final.
Avram Grant wasn't perm. He was
I'll give him some dues as well because he got all the way to Moscow. I was like, yo, slip penalties.
Yeah.
Unlucky.
I'm only talking about permanent. Jose won, Conte won, Sarri won, Tuchel won, Ancelotti won,
Yeah.
Di Matteo won. Like,
so their managerial process, you can't even question
Yeah,
it.
it's a mental
Even
quality,
though
yeah.
people have said it's so harsh over the years and Chelsea chop and change managers. And I don't think it works for everyone.
no.
It doesn't work for everyone. Not every club can do that.
Yeah.
But when you're Abramovich and you can chop and change and back every single manager and you don't care, he's very ruthless about winning. That's one thing I've seen throughout his 20 years. He just wants to see Chelsea be successful and be respected as an elite club. And now they're there, bruv. They're at the big boys table. So give them their dues. Club world champions now.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Is he the greatest owner of that you've seen in your lifetime?
Yeah, I was about to say, I think you know, it's hard with ownership. it's a weird one because you look at, maybe you can say stuff like Perez has done, or stuff that like Laporta has done.
maybe.
But no, I'm not good.
They're presidents,
And
they're
I was
like
gonna say
5-year terms.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it has to be Abramovich, because you think about where he picked up Chelsea from. Now, I'm not gonna say he picked up Chelsea from relegation. He didn't pick them up. They were a good team. He literally went to them because they made the Champions League over Spurs or Liverpool, whatever that situation was. Yeah, whatever that little situation was. But where he picked them up from, just as Chelsea were known, as the Kings Road Boys. Chelsea were just that team that got all the foreigners first. First ever foreign winner of the FA Cup was Ruud Gullit. Yeah. Like, they were just that team. Vialli, Zola, they were that Di Matteo. They were that team who were just there for vibes. You know what I mean? Like
4th, 5th,
they were vibes. Like you liked Chelsea.
Flo,
exactly.
The flick-ons, Zola with the big and little.
Hasselbank. They were that team that you just liked. You know what I mean? Chelsea was just them team. But he got them, took over them, and made them feared and serious. In a time where people probably weren't even ready for that. People weren't ready for that. We had just come off the Invincibles. We had just come off, obviously, United's dominance. And he had come and taken them from a team that was probably seen as, they're flashy, but not so much as winners, to, I'm going to go and get a serial winner in Jose Mourinho. Yeah. And all of a sudden, no, we're not even going to do it pretty. We're going to just fucking win trophies. Yeah. Simple as that. And he has set that precedent all the way till now. This is a 20-year span, and they're still relevant. There's still no chase. Get them out the club. Get him out. There's never been a one murmur. Get Abramovich out. Never. Ever. And they are
even
still
in the worst times, I swear. Yeah.
And there's still this club to this day. It is the greatest ever takeover. And do you know one thing that nobody talks about that I absolutely love what Abramovich has done? He has kept Stamford Bridge. I love that he has kept Stamford Bridge.
Do you not think though he's always tried to look maybe for something else?
Of course they will look to see maybe what's going on and stuff, but it's never been a force. It's never been, let's relocate or let's do anything crazy. He has kept Stamford Bridge, a 42,000 seater stadium or something like that. Not the greatest, but it's kept the atmosphere. You look at what's happened to Spurs, Arsenal, Atletico brought the Wanadrome or whatever it was. Everyone that wants to become a big club say, no, we have to make a new stadium. We have to build a stadium. Chelsea just said, all right,
I think that's helped as well, because it's allowed him to basically just invest in the squad rather than focus on the decoration. Facts. Like I've always said, you focus on building the foundations, and that's how you become a powerhouse, and that's how they are. And I think what you touched on as well is important. 20 years is enough of a time for it to become history. Like we said, bro, there are Arsenal fans who never saw the Invincible nowadays because it's 2004 now. Chelsea now are going on from then till now doing greatness. So it's like, even in terms of like greatest club in England, you say historically United, Liverpool, Arsenal.
Yeah, Arsenal.
Chelsea?
Yeah, Chelsea, you would probably say Chelsea now.
How far behind are they from Arsenal though? They've got 2 Champions Leagues, which Arsenal don't.
No,
they've got 2 Champions Leagues, which Arsenal don't. So for me, in terms of like, I hear Arsenal might have more league titles and Division 1s and everything and go back to the 30s. But if we're talking Champions League and like, you have taken recent history as well, do you put Chelsea above Arsenal?
No, for me personally, I will put it, and I'll be surprised for Arsenal fans with their chest to say that they wouldn't as well. I think Arsenal fans would know that Chelsea, I mean, you remember that Europa League final, that 4-1. I mean, there's been so many moments where Chelsea have just asserted
Wenger's 1000th game?
They have asserted their dominance on London. You know what I mean? And I think that all the true Arsenal fans would admit that London is blue and it's Chelsea. But again, you can talk about the trophies back then when you weren't born and stuff. That's fine. That's part of a football club. But we're going on to history now, continuous for 20 years, and the trajectories. It will be hard not to say that. It'll be hard not to say.
I was going to say, in regards to best chairman, maybe Berlusconi at AC. I was thinking.
What, after he blew it up?
He blew it up at the end,
right? And he
had he had like 30 years or something.
Did he go to prison?
So, no. So I'm saying he had 30 years. Yeah, if you take away the last 10 years, then 20 years, all the Champions Leagues, the dream team that he built, the Van Basten team, and then later on the Kaka team.
Wait, AC Milan died in the war? They weren't dead in the war.
When
he picked
them up in 1986 when they were dead in the water, bruv.
Fairs. Fez.
So he's one maybe, you know, but I know it went out so mad towards the end.
And left them too sad. He left them in the mud.
Gutter. Like actually ruined AC. I can't lie to you.
They're only do that,
just
bro.
now recovering.
Yeah.
Like 6 years later after he's gone.
Abramovich will not do that. I'm sorry. I don't think Abramovich ever leave Chelsea in the mud like that.
Chelsea owe Abramovich a lot of money, you know. If he says, yo, y'all owe me.
Bro, in uni, I studied something and got to do with that. Like, if he takes his hand, Chelsea can go into like liquidation or some madness or something like that.
He has Thanos, I'm telling you.
Nah, he'll never do that to them. But also another thing that I want to just talk, moving on from Abramovich, moving more onto Chelsea as the actual team. You look at this period, you know, and obviously this period will be known as the City-Liverpool era because you only talk about eras about the title races, innit? Like the Man United era and Arsenal. People still talk about Newcastle when they had their little moment with Kevin Keegan. Like you always talk about, you always talk about the title races, and City and Liverpool are the ones that provide that. But if you're looking at this period, it's crazy. It's such a testament to Chelsea as a football club that in this period where Liverpool are dominant or seen as dominant and Man City are dominant, Chelsea have still picked up how many trophies since they've won an FA Cup in that period. They've won a Champions League, a Super Cup, a Club World Cup, Europa Leagues and stuff. Like in this period that Klopp and Pep have been there, Chelsea have still won more trophies than anyone else other than Manchester City. It just shows how they operate. They're always at a level to compete. And that is a massive credit because you look at Man United, you look at Arsenal. I don't even want to say Arsenal because it's been a longer time for Arsenal. Let's say Man United and the money that they've invested and still don't come anywhere close to competing. Yeah, it's crazy that Chelsea can maintain this level because, as I said, we're going to be like Liverpool. The history books is going to say it's the Liverpool City era, but when you're looking at the trophies, you're going to be like, oh, Chelsea won that.
Chelsea still collected
Chelsea
in that.
won that.
But I feel like
Chelsea
that's the ruthless DNA that they've built as well. Because if you look at some of those teams that were winning, they weren't always great squads as well. I do think like there was a couple of years where Chelsea's recruitment was going mad, but they still picked up the Europa League with Sarri. They still picked up the FA Cup half. So it's like, it's just a DNA I feel like Chelsea have built within the last 20 years that now, even when the standard of not winning the league doesn't happen, all right, what else are we collecting? You've seen Mace, bro. We've been doing the pod with Mace for 3 years now. He always sits there and goes, oh, okay, cool, I'm not getting a league. I'm leaving with something this season. And I'm like, this cocky fucker. Yeah. Every season he took, and guess what? It comes true. And I'm like, it's just their DNA, bro. I've just said
how do teams get that? How does a Man United, Arsenal, Spurs...
Bro, it's the same way people say Spurs have this bottle in DNA. Once your club just has this like
it's like
pattern of thinking almost.
Passion and desire.
Like
DNA.
Arsenal, they've been saying the weak leadership thing for the last 10 years. They don't really have leaders like that. Once you just get that thing, players get it in their head. And it's just like, as soon as there's that moment of doubt in a game, in a season, in a moment, the players, they just start doubting themselves and they just fall into whatever that pattern is, whether it's winning or whether it's bottling. It's your DNA, bro.
It is a DNA, and it's something that it just won't go away. I was going to talk about they are actually the thing about them now. Like you look at the period, as I said about Manchester United, there's no real legends that have come now, but Chelsea have built a whole new set of legends, pretty much in a way. Havertz ain't a legend, but he's now engraved in Chelsea's history books for two occasions. Aspie. Legend in this thing now.
The only Chelsea player to win every single trophy, if I'm not mistaken, as well. Every single trophy available.
That's crazy.
That's it. Like he is a certified legend.
I said
after the Terry Drogba Czech era, he is the biggest legend for me. Even I would put him more than Hazard. I think Hazard gave the people the feeling and the love and moments where they thought, wow, and that's you. That's you all over them. Look at him. But I think if you look at legend service, the man who epitomizes what the club is has to be Aspie. Even just what he was doing for that penalty. Just taking the pressure of Havertz. Hazard ain't doing that. That's a real leader though. Aspie for me just... the best legend since that lot for me, 100%.
I still got to go Hazard. And then the thing is, there's going to be... I'll go Hazard, there's Aspie. Obviously, Kante is going to join that as well. Kante is in that. Kante is in that.
He's Carling Cup away from...
from winning everything himself.
And what? Final? Coming soon?
Yeah, League Cup final
Yeah,
against
League Cup
Liverpool.
final
Yeah,
comes
so
soon,
he
yeah.
could complete
So he
the
could
set.
tick that. He could tick that
So
this season.
they've got new legends in there that will probably go into their all-time team, and that's a sick thing, man. That's a sick thing
The
because
Chelsea all-time team just from Abramovich's era is nuts.
exactly, and you think this is what we used.
actually nuts.
This is how it used to be with Manchester United. Like there was the going all the way back to like Robsons and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
Then
yeah,
it
yeah.
moved on to Keens
Yeah.
and that. Then it's like
Cantona
Cristiano,
and them, man.
Rooney.
Yeah.
That is how a big football club operates, bro. You'll continuously keep going.
Evolution.
Look at Real Madrid. It was Zidane's and that. Then it's Ronaldo and Modric's and that. Like big clubs keep going. You know what I'm trying to say? You don't want to be looking back at the old days all the time. So I gotta give Chelsea massive
Greatness
credit.
is defined by consistency, bruv. I swear to you.
Yeah, facts. But let's move on from Chelsea, man. Maze was even here for the big Chelsea flipping love, but we'll move on
We've done
to
it justice, I think.
we'll move on to we'll move on to a former Chelsea employee in Antonio Conte, and I know this isn't even on the sheet, but I'm sorry you guys lost again today.
Bruv.
3 in a row,
Bruv.
3 losses in a row. And this is the thing, game in hand is the myth. Never look at the table, see you with game in hand and think, yeah, if we win, forget all of that. Because game in hand, you never want to be in that position.
100%.
So we can talk all about what Spurs do wrong, what Spurs do right. But I want to ask a bullet question. Is this going to be Conte's toughest job of his career?
100%. I think even there was a stat after this game. Conte hadn't lost 3 games in the bounce since 2009. So it just tells you that he's been able, no matter where he's gone, he's been able to maintain a certain level and a certain standard. That's not being met here, bro. 2 mistakes today from Lloris to basically throw the game away. You had 2 mistakes from Sanchez, Emerson, take your pick midweek in Southampton where you're winning 2-1, throw the game away. Chelsea basically punched us up for an entire month where guys were gifting goals away basically to Chelsea's B team. So it's like, bro, his hands are tied. And I've been seeing like murmurs today as well of Spurs fans saying like, oh, if this was Jose, we would be saying something. Are you fucking seeing the bozos we have at the back? Like, I'm sorry, it's the same thing I said last year. A man can only do so much, bruv. He's had 2 midfielders brought in. That's not going to improve the defence. And today, single-handedly, I'm sorry, Lloris cost us 2 goals there. Flapping at the first one, flapping at the second. You can't do nothing as a manager. And I feel like he's tried to do as much as he can system-wise, whether it's 3 in midfield, 5 at the back, whatever it is. But I'm sorry. The issue is not Conte here, and this is 100% going to be a long job for him. The problem is it going to be till the end of his contract? Because his contract is only 18 months. I don't think he's going to extend it.
I don't even think he might not even see that out at this point.
I don't believe he'll extend it, and purely because I don't think he sees enough from the board to want to change the squad, and I don't think he believes what's there now want to push themselves to that level. You look at guys like, oh, bruv, I know we talked about the Winks remontada and all this a couple of weeks ago, but I said when the window closes, a lot of these guys will revert back to default. And that's what we're seeing now, bruv. Factory default settings, and it's not good enough, bruv. It's not good enough. You can add the Bentancurs and the Kulusevski. You add good to shit, it don't improve it. I'm sorry. There is too much shit at that club. Way too much. So Conte's got a long job, bruv.
It's the thing is and this is the thing about this.
City next. Oh wait, Etihad.
No, but you guys love the Etihad though.
What? With Sanchez Beyblade spinning like a fucking breakdancer.
Oh yeah, is that when
sucker?
Is that when Gundogan
broke
his neck?
Put him in a fucking spinner.
Nah, but you know what though, like. The thing is, everyone's just obviously everything's just agenda now, innit? So everyone's like, oh, Conte, this, as if he just wasn't a champion in Italy, or as if he hasn't won all these league titles, etc. So it's a Daniel Levy issue, bro. You guys, I keep saying it. You guys still have the players that got Poch sacked. You've had Nuno, Jose, and Conte since then,
bro.
You guys still have the same squad. Not the same squad, but you have a lot of the same players. You're relying on a lot of the same players that Poch relied on. How are you going to be successful in that way? It got Jose out of there. It got Nuno out of there. It's now time to look at if you have Antonio Conte, Jose Mourinho, Poch, Nuno, who was a good manager. Spurs ruined his rep too. if you guys have got them 4 managers who are all very respected gaffers, yeah, and leave with nothing, how can you be looking at these individual managers 24/7? You got to look at the players. You got to look at the ownership at some point. It's the same situation I say with Man United. Just accept these players suck. Get rid of them. You know what I mean? And it's the same thing with Spurs. But Daniel Levy, I just can't see him orchestrating an overhaul. I just can't see it.
I feel like with Kulusevski and Bentancur, those are the caliber of players we need to be going for in the summer. But there's so much that needs to change. I look at Ben Davis getting spun week in, week out. Sanchez getting spun week in, week out. And in this system, your creativity is going to come from your wing-backs. When we're struggling with Emerson and Reguilon, who are your A choices, and then you say, you know what? We'll get them out of the firing line. We'll put in Doherty and Sessegnon. Bro, it's so bad. Sessegnon was taken off 25 minutes into the game. Doherty is... You might as well start the game with 10 men. I have never seen this
Somebody
guy...
sent me a DM of you talking about his signing. I was like, this aged well. About when you were like, yeah, it's a good signing. Doherty's going to go straight into the lineup.
100.
I'm not one of them people.
Bro,
at the time, it was
here's what I'm going to tell you. At the
too.
time, after what the work he put in at Wolves, you're thinking, do you know what? We've seen enough of Aurier. We saw Trippier fuck up. He should be an improvement.
I agree, bruv.
15 million as well. I said, all right. But since then, I have not seen even... Forget good game, where it's a 7 out of 10. I've not even seen a 5 out of 10 game. I can't expect this man to do the basics right. Winks, I'm sorry, you're so far out of your depth in that midfield. When it's a 2, when it's a 3, he can operate better. But for me, I don't know, bruv. This season, I don't think anybody who had hopes of top 4, this is exactly why I was saying we're not top 4. Don't drink. We don't have the quality to... Because even if we get to the Champions League, you think we're making it out of the group?
Yeah, it's
delusional if you like.
It's the same situation. Actually, I tweeted today. I said top 4 is Arsenal's to lose. And all the Arsenal fans are running around. Arsenal fans are running around saying, "Listen, no, it's not." No one likes the favourite tag. And of course, you got Man United, who at the start of the season you would expect to have been in there, but they're not. You got to face reality. Yeah. They're not in there. West Ham are one of the teams that are currently 1-1, but they're battling for the top 4. Are they expected to get top 4? Probably not. Arsenal as well. They're probably not expected, and neither are Spurs. So you're in a situation that the only team that's expected to have got it are fumbling. Yeah. So teams have capitalized on that. And at the moment, for me, it's Arsenal's to lose. I don't know what you think about that.
Can I ask you a question? If West Ham get top 4 and they have Europe, let's not forget that. What's that say about Man United, Spurs, and Arsenal?
Do you know what that says to me? David Moyes, put some fucking respect on his name, bruv. That's for me the most important thing it says. Like, I feel like the job he's done there to make West Ham a Champions League team ahead of those teams who have spent however much they've spent over the last 2-3 years. Bruv, when he took over them, weren't they just hovering above the relegation zone? To now be a Champions League team, to develop the players he's developed individually, the system he has. Yeah, it might be a thin 11 squad as well, but now you've got the allure of, I can attract players because I've got the Champions League. Bruv, he's literally single-handedly taken that club up.
Yeah, I mean, it says a lot about them, and you know what? Yeah, I'm happy that you're the positive one here. Yeah. For me, it just shows how terrible Manchester United, Spurs, and Arsenal are, and it just shows how poor in quality these teams are. It just shows how poor in quality. How can West Ham in the Europa League get top 4 over Man United, Arsenal, and Spurs? Spurs who haven't been knocking on the door for years or whatever. Man United, who have just got Varane, Sancho, and Cristiano Ronaldo. And then you've got Arsenal, who have 1 game a week and have got themselves 11 clean sheets, have got themselves in this position. Yeah. For West Ham to get top 4, credit to David Moyes. Amazing. No matter what happens for the rest of the season, David Moyes got his stock has risen. Yeah. He's happy. But for them teams not to get top 4, they need to look in the mirror, bro.
I think the worst
Leicester as well. Let's not leave them out as well.
I think the worst off will be United. I think 100. Arsenal, if they get top 6 this year, for me, it's an improvement on what they've been doing the last couple of years. Spurs have dropped out of that top 4 zone, let's be honest. They finished 7th last year. Top 6, that was my target this year. The fact that the window's open like that and we fumble it with all these games in hand as well, egg on our faces. But I think if West Ham do it, bruv, they've earned it. It's not a thing where I feel like even the other teams have fumbled. They've kept up. They've still... You got to remember, was it December? They had like a 10-game stretch where they didn't even win. And they're somehow still in the race as well. And one thing I said about this top 4 race, though, is it's not even settled now.
No,
Because the last 4 or 5 years, it's basically whoever has the advantage, whoever is in the lead and favourites, they just start embarrassing themselves.
Yeah.
Whether it's Leicester, whether it's United. As soon as Arsenal now are in the ascendancy, right? They will fumble it at some
well,
point.
Arsenal have 2
West
games
Ham-
in hand, but
I'm telling
games
you,
in hand.
it's
who knows?
everyone who gets that advantage starts fucking it up completely.
It ends up becoming who can be the battle of the worst.
Yes.
That's
The
who
best
can
of the
embarrass-
worst.
Yeah, literally, that's what it ends up becoming all the time. So but you've touched on a few teams. Let's touch on Man United, because we just said that if the biggest losers of not getting top 4 will be Man United, another draw, becoming Drawchester FC. Whether it's getting peppered and fighting a draw, whether it's creating a million chances and not scoring and getting a draw, one way or another, Manchester United won't win that football match. What is your takeaway from it? And when you see what Ralph is trying to do, how do you see it as a not a United fan, kind of like as a neutral? How do you see the whole Man United situation at the moment in the last 3-4 games?
I just feel like you lot are in this weird limbo period.
Not you lot.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I just feel like Manchester United.
Nice one.
I just feel like Man United are in a weird limbo period, to be honest. They don't seem to convince me of anything. Even that bit of, I feel like previously under Oli, what you lot had was you never really had a system, but you had individual quality. Whether it was Ronaldo, Bruno, Rashford, someone would always step up. It almost seems like that's gone now as well.
It's like now Man United have become a little bit more structured.
Coached. Yeah.
No individual quality.
That has completely vanished now. And I'm like, I can see there's some improvements, but you still have the individual mistakes, which haven't been taken out of your games. And I feel like that is still costing you massively as well. So you lot are just in this weird space. And some results, I'm like, you lot didn't even deserve to get the draw out of that. Some I'm just like, oh, like yesterday. It's like, I don't know. You lot are just in this weird space. But Ranić, I don't think he's doing anything wrong. I think the one thing he's doing wrong, maybe talking a little too much in the press. I feel like you can almost read his game plan. If you're a manager who, if you watch his press conference, you can.
I'm going to play 4-3-3. I'm going to have McTominay in the 6. I'm going to have these man white. I'm going to thinking, perfect, mate. Thanks,
safe. We set up. And I just feel like he's giving too much game away.
I think that's a German. I think that might just be a. Maybe not German. Maybe it might be an old school thing. It might be an old school. And I also think he still has the mentality of, I'm just here to do a job. Like, I'm not really, you know what I mean? Like, I might not even be here in the summer, like after the summer. So that's what I think. And do you know I think his biggest mistake, I think he's not doing anything wrong at the end of the day. I can't look at him. He's trying to do what he's trying to do. These players are not good enough. The jokes
have to fly though.
Yeah, no, 100%. The players are not good enough at all. It's as simple as that. We'll touch on some individuals because there's some scary, scary individuals at Man United right now. But, one thing that will continue to be his downfall is if he continues playing Lucas Shaw and he continues to play in Harold Maguire. As if he keeps playing them two brothers, he doesn't deserve. He doesn't deserve it. He's shooting himself in the foot, bro. Listen, all right, let's stop because we're gonna go on some scary individuals. I have to start with the scariest, in my opinion, and it's Harry Maguire. And I sit here to myself, sick to my stomach that I ever gave this guy ratings. Like, it makes me sick, bro. Because when I'm being serious, I don't want to. You see me? I'm not trying to insult anyone or anything like that. But I will say for the level that Man United are meant to be at, I have probably never seen a worse centre-half at a club of that level in my life. In my whole life. And I'm talking Mustafi, all of them type of guys. He is the biggest calamity I have probably definitely ever seen at Man United. The guy, I've never seen a centre-half get so frequently taken on, ever. I've never seen a centre-half, I've said this many times, radiate nerves across a football club, ever in my life. I've never seen a captain with such lack of leadership skills. Yeah. The guy doesn't need to be taken off captain at this point or anything. The guy needs to leave, bro. I'm being dead serious. The guy needs to leave. How much indication do you need to show that you are not up to the task of playing for a club like that? And it's not only him, there's other guys that need to leave, but I'm sorry, every week there's something that Broja was taking him for a ride. I love that but he was showing him like yeah, I'm gonna listen.
You know when
I'm
you
gonna
target
bully
someone,
you.
yeah, you're the weak link. I'm coming for you, bruv. And I think what you said there is like the fact that he radiates nerves. He doesn't command. He has no presence. For someone who's as big and should be even aerially dominant, his heading is poor. There was one chance I remember he had where he should have scored yesterday, and I was just like, bruv, what is your attribute? What are you good at? And I said, bruv, the mistakes you're making now, it's so frequent and so like...
So frequent, bro.
You're entering like Boomsong and Bramble reign. Them realms there where you're just almost remembered as like a slapstick defender. Like, look at him. He's making mistakes like Maguire is what people will say in a couple years.
We grew up saying Bramble.
Bramble and Boomsong.
Literally
Kids will grow up saying
he's like
Maguire.
Titus Bramble.
Bruv, this is what I'm saying. You're entering that realm. And I'm just like, I genuinely think you lot have to offload and cut your losses this summer. I think the one thing you lot keep trying to do is start him. Because A, he's the captain. But you're also trying to recruit some of the 85.
100%.
I need to get my money's worth out of this. 100. Even if it's egg on my face. But just sever the arm. Before the disease spreads. It's already taken top torso of the body.
Yep.
Remove it. Remove it.
And you
because Luke Shaw, the other one we're going to come to as well.
Yes.
I've said it before. Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
They are the worst partnership I've seen. They
The
don't
fact that
compliment
they played
each
them
other.
next to each other.
The only thing I'll give Luke Shaw credit for is sometimes Maguire leaves this guy in no man's land. But for the last 2 weeks, Luke Shaw's kept the guy on side. From sleeping.
I remember the Liverpool game.
Yeah,
Where
and-
in the first goal,
Yep.
first minute, he was just letting him through. And I'm like, you're guilty of this week in, week out.
Yeah, it's the thing is like, it must be some sort of PR thing going on, because remember when Paul Merson said Maguire's not going to be a good signing? Got killed for it, and was forced to apologize. The guy's still right. What the hell did he give in for that? He should never have given in. But then again, as I said, Luke Shaw, what I said about Luke Shaw, for me, he's everything that embodies what Man United have been in the last couple of years, since post-Ferguson. Post-Ferguson, he embodies it, because, bro, it's straight mediocrity. It's straight mediocrity. 7 years, if he was not an English player, he would have been ran out of the club. I'm sorry, Martial's been run out of the club. He's been better than him. Pogba's about to get, you can leave. He's been better than him. So many players that have come. You can't. Daily Blind was better than him. He was the same level as Darmian.
Herrera.
These guys all got shipped out of the club, for Luke Shaw. And I've mentioned, I have never seen a player get replaced so many times before. Darmian was once in his position. Ashley Young kept him out for ages. Blint, Tellez come true. Every manager at some point has had to try and Luke Shaw's a problem. We're going to try somebody else. And somehow he always ends up playing and still being mediocre. Every cup win that Man United, every trophy that Man United have won post Ferguson, Luke Shaw has not played in any of them.
Yeah.
So I mean, make it that what you will, but it's an embodiment. The reason why I say it's an embodiment is because when he has a couple good games, he's Roberto Carlos. The country are behind him. He's world class. The same thing that Man United do. Man United win a few games. Oh, we're one of the top 5 clubs in the world.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not. You're overhyped. You're overrated. That is what it is.
Yeah.
And Luke Shaw embodies that, and it's the fact that he's so protected. It's annoying. If he wasn't an English left back, he'll be long out of Man United.
He's always the one coming out post game, giving
And
the press
talking.
conferences and talking. I'm like, bruv, you should be hiding in the changing room, bruv. Like, you're the last person in. And I hate the accountability, come step in front. But bruv, it's been too many times and too consistent. And I just feel like with those two, I'm sorry. I keep seeing United team fans build teams for next season with them two still in it. And I'm
scary.
like, are you lot smoking? What are you seeing? Because I don't know, bruv.
And you got. There's loads. We can go into United, every individual. You can talk about Bruno,
Ronaldo.
you can talk about Ronaldo. But I know you wanted to talk about Rashford. Because
he's getting scary to me now at this point. I feel like I said it in the GC. I feel like he's become you lot's Dele Alli almost, where the guy who was maybe 2-3 years ago a serious talent. You could see the trajectory. You could see the progression year on year. You could see the improvements in his game, and you're thinking, all right, he's going to take that bump and that next level. And the last maybe 18 months, you could say injuries have played a part. Since that big back injury, I remember, since he came back off that, he just hasn't been the same. And I don't know whether that injury has had a knock-on effect on him or whatever. Don't chew on the mic. I don't know whether that's had a knock-on effect on him, but I just feel like his confidence is shot. You don't see that raw ability that he had earlier. The finishing was never great anyway, and his decision-making was never great. But I just feel like now it's even worse. But you was like someone who was big on Rashford. What do you think has gone wrong?
I mean,
do you think it's too much off the pitch distractions, injuries? Like
I think
there's like almost like similar like Dele Alli. Why I say it was Dele Alli at the time. There was a concoction of them things, off the field shit, injuries. Does the manager like him? Is he playing in his best role? Like what is it with Rashford?
Rashford, that's such a good. The Dele Alli comparison is so good because both were like loved wonder kids. Passion,
one of our own,
passion and fight. Yeah, kind of. I
know he's not ours, but one of our like that. Yeah,
one of our own. And one thing they would do is put down good numbers for you. Like their overall game was always a bit, but they'll put numbers down for you. Now, fast forward, one of the most criticized players, seen as lazy and unbothered, seen as overall game is terrible, and it's the exact same kind of spiral that Dele Alli went. He had a few injuries as well, Ali, and so has Rashford. But I think with Rashford, too young, he was given the kind of, you need to be this guy kind of thing, you know, like you got rid of Lukaku, you got rid of Zlatan's and all these, like
now it's yours.
You really need to, from too young. But I just think some people just don't develop to what you thought they were going to be, potentially. And United can take ownership for it. It's basically copy and paste the conversation we had about Martial the other day. Copy and paste. United can take some responsibility, because why don't players develop at a good rate at Man United?
Yeah.
Before the madness with Greenwood, he looked like he was in a tough situation as well. It was about to start getting into a tough situation. Yeah. So both parties have got to take blame. But one thing I've got to say is that the laziness on the pitch, that's got nothing to do with anyone but yourself. The poor decision making, that's got nothing to do with anyone but yourself. There got to come a point where you just say, maybe even in your mind, you might just have to say to yourself, do you know what? I'm going to become pass first. Let me switch up my mentality. The poor touches, that's got nothing to do with anybody else. The lack of kind of, how can I say, like, just the lack of quality, like the quality that you're showing on the pitch has got nothing to do with anyone else but yourself. So with Marcus Rashford, he's on a situation where he's like this, and it's going lower and lower and lower. And it's now becoming a thing where he's on the pitch and he got the assist the other day for Sancho, but he's on the pitch and you're like, you might as well not even be here.
What were you there?
You might as not. His effort for the first goal, for the goal that Southampton scored. 1 point Ronaldo said, yeah, go down there. 1 point Pogba said, yeah, get. Rashford's just like jogging, boom, goal. The guy is on us, and the thing is, you went, and it's weird because of this MP stuff that he was doing. You would think people would be more on his side, but it's now becoming a thing where people are like, no, I'm hearing that in the stadium, people are saying like, talking about the food, like blah, 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 all that type of stuff. Like that's now gone against him. So it's crazy. No one can say off pitch things don't affect. Now I'm not saying off pitch has made him a bad player, but off pitch, when you're being told you are the most amazing human, you're the best, your form is sliding, but you're being told you are the hero. What a man! You're the best. You're releasing books. You're doing all this stuff, which is great. Which is great for him. I'm happy for him. But when that stuff is keep coming and you're getting fed all this type of stuff while you're not performing bad, where's the motivation to be like, no, hold on, I need to keep going.
100%.
And
100%.
next thing you know,
I
now.
Remember like Rio Ferdinand previously said it as well, where like when he was doing like the 5 magazine, the Clover and all that, he realized it was affecting his form. So he said, you know what, I'm going to fall back on that. Lo and behold, you lot won 3 titles in a row, the Champions League, everything came on. And it's not that it takes away from your game, but it definitely has an effect, I feel like, the off the pitch stuff. But I just feel like as well, the form has now been dry for so long. You're not seeing the attitude there. You're not seeing that same hunger and desire. And United need him now more than ever, to be honest. With Greenwood completely out of the light, Ronaldo's pretty much on his last legs. So Martial's completely gone. You're the last man standing. And this is how you're kind of moving. So for me, it'll be interesting to see how him and United's situation handles the next summer.
It doesn't look like he's enjoying his football at all.
Yeah.
The guy looks depressed on the pitch. He looks like he's dragging himself about. He doesn't look like he knows what to do. He looks at somebody that's desperate for guidance, and it's not going to come right now.
Because he
has to hope. He has to hope the next manager comes in on a Jose Ali thing, where Jose tried a little bit. In the beginning, he tried to put his arm around Ali, didn't work. But he needs a manager to come in and be like, listen, what's the issue? What's wrong with you? Why are you not this guy anymore? What can we do to get you to be the best that you can be? That he has to pray on that. That's what I'm going to say. He got prayer.
And I think previously you've even said that he needs someone to coach him. Because as much as Ollie might have improved his finishing or whatever, you felt like there was there was more coaching to be done with his overall game anyway. So, yeah, he definitely I feel like maybe needs to be cashed in on. Or you don't need to either really sit him down and ask him, what do you want?
Because he's in the same position.
I'm looking to buck your ideas.
I'm looking at Bruno, same position. I'm looking at Ronaldo, same position. I'm looking at Shaw, Maguire. There's loads. So Man United have got loads of work to do. But let's move on to the champs and the duds of the week. We keep overdoing. We wanted to talk about the players that have come to the Premier League, but we'll do that when Mays comes in.
Yeah,
do that when Mays comes back. But Coutinho didn't even do anything today anyway, really. But let's talk about the champs and the duds of the week. Who you got as the champs of the week? Got to give credit to Newcastle as well, man. Big 2 wins in a row, I think it is.
You know
massive,
what? Trippier
massive.
is my champ. I'll give him champ of the week.
2 winners. Was
yeah,
it 2 winners?
2 winners, bruv.
Yeah, massive.
I think when we was doing our predictions as well, I said Newcastle would survive the drop, you know what I mean? I said right investment, 1 or 2 pieces, and they've gone and Trippier's now saving them. But yeah, I think definitely champ of the week, Trippier. I think non-football, we said before the pod as well, LeBron James, all-time point scorer.
Come on.
Officially the GOAT.
Go James!
Go James!
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 Go James, man.
Hey, listen.
Go
they're going to have to talk about their rings. That's all they got now.
Yeah.
But yeah, those would be my 2 champs, I'd say.
I'd say champ as well. I would say, yeah, LeBron, that's a champ as well. Newcastle, what they're doing. Sterling getting a hat-trick. Well done to him. We'll talk about that. There's been a little bit of discussions about where he ranks English wingers, but we'll get into that when Mays gets back as well. What else was there? There was the duds, obviously, naturally, for what Kurt Zouma done, to put it out there, you've got to give him a dud for that.
Yeah.
But also, for me, the reaction as well of everyone. Like, okay, yeah, look, it was bad. Animal cruelty. No one condones that in this podcast, blah, 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 you know, nobody condones that. We've all got pets. You know what I mean? When I get home, I'm going to kiss my cat. I love my cat. You know what I mean? So yeah, I love my cat. You know what I mean? So we all got pets. So what he did was wrong. But look, I don't want to come and start piggybacking off what Antonio said. He's a champ for that as well. But the outrage is getting ridiculous. I'm seeing UFC fighters calling him out to fight. I'm seeing everyone try to pile on him, try and mess up with a guy's livelihood.
He even had
he's been
Souness today.
Yeah, exactly.
About, if I was his manager, I wouldn't play him till the end of the year. I just feel like people are going,
they're trying to. Do you know what it is? Yeah, cancel culture in today's day and age is everything. People love to see cancel culture because do you know why? Nobody's shit stinks in this world anymore. You know, everyone is perfect. Everything everyone does now is spot on. Everyone has skeletons in their closet, but they act like they don't. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And cancel culture is what everyone does because a lot of people project their insecurities on others.
Yeah.
They just want to see another person fail. The guy's been fined 250k. The guy's been
had his pets taken away.
Had the flipping pets taken away. Yeah, been publicly slated. Been all over the place where he wouldn't want to be. He's apologized. He's released statements. The club have said he's remorseful. What more do people want? They want the sponsorships have been gone. He's no longer an athlete for Adidas. For Adidas. Sponsor Vitality. All these people have taken away from West Ham. What do they want him to do? Die? Should he die? Should he go on the pitch and kill himself? What do people want Zouma to do? They're saying cancel him. Why? What gives us the right to say someone should be cancelled? What gives the right? And one thing I don't like, is that people go on like, yes, football and sport is a privilege because you're privileged because you're making so much money. That is a privilege. But can we stop going on as if they're just a bunch of lads that you just walked across the street and said, you want to be a footballer? You want to be a footballer? You want to be a footballer? That's not what happened. They're good enough and excellent enough in their profession. That's why they're footballers. Just like you are excellent at sales, you are excellent at IT, you are a good content creator, whatever. It's not. You can't stop people trying to say take away their privilege of being a footballer. Why?
Bruv.
Why? Because that's what they're good at.
Yeah.
What do you mean it's a privilege? They are good at it. They grinded against how many other people that wanted to be there and excelled and become players that have played in the Premier League, players that play at the top level. Stop treating football like the fans. We could just take it away from you because it's a privilege for you. I hate that mentality, bro.
It's crazy, and it feels like people are kind of just snowballing at this point. Is how I feel. They're just piling on top, where they feel like, oh, okay, it's an easy target essentially. And don't get it twisted. What he did was wrong. No one is condoning it, but is the punishment justified now? It's been served. It's been done. Cool. Now it just seems like everybody won't stop till he's completely stopped playing. People don't want him playing any minutes till the end. Like, what?
It's not a police issue.
It's not literally what I was gonna say. Like, the police aren't involved. So guess what? It's officially not a crime.
Exactly. It's not a police issue. The people, the governing bodies or whatever you call it, the organizations that handle it have handled it. They've taken away the pet. They're giving him course to whatever.
Yeah.
That is it. Let it go. That's all I'm saying. But again, nobody on this podcast condones that.
There'll be people who do fucking things 10 times worse. That'll be on the
Jamie O'Hara. Shit. Jamie O'Hara, is on here talking about Donny shouldn't ever play. Aren't you the manager of Billy Rickey or something? Why are you good manager? You shouldn't have. Why are you on Talksport even talking? Sit down. Why have you got a job? Why you got the privilege to be on Talksport, Jamie O'Hara? Why have you got the privilege of being the manager of Billy Rickey? Why? Go be in the basement like you want Zouma to be in. Be in that basement.
Hypocrites.
And this is what I don't like, man. I hate it, man. And all these people, by the way, they're the same ones that go and can't wait for Grand National, innit? They can't wait for Grand National.
Oh, yeah. Or the
and
Greyhounds.
and the Royal Ascot, right? No, okay.
With the Greyhounds racing.
Oh,
where they're whipping the horses. Just
there we go.
The blind horses that are, told, hey, you can't look where you're running. Just run by whip.
We can just, just in the last 100 meters, we'll just whip you as many times
Not
as
the
we
dogs.
Yeah.
Not the dogs.
But listen, guys, that was another episode of Stoppage Time TV. As I said, Dos Locos is back this Wednesday, man. We're buzzing for it. The Champions League fixtures. Of course, next episode we'll be talking about the Champions League games as well. Another champ. Sorry, big up Giroud, man. What he did against Inter Milan.
Oh,
we didn't even get mentioned, man. Big him up as well. But yeah, that's us. We are out.